Apostle Tahar's Super Green Elixir. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. I'm going to make this real quick. Someone asked me, because I spoke about it in the previous video about a week ago or so, that I made this. Someone asked me on the comment board, how you make it, could you do a video on that? So this is going to be a super quick video. I could actually show you how I make it, but you don't need all that. But anyway, this right here is a bottle of green juice. I just used this to put it in there. Basically, you're supposed to put it in glass. But what I did was I cheated. I took this juice right here. This is organic cold pressed juice beverage, which is green. And it tastes, it's let me bring it closer. See, it says organic, so it's a green organic drink. But I'll make my own green. You know, I'll use what I have. I'll either use kale. You can either juice it, or you can blend it. You can blend it in a Ninja. You're gonna get that fiber in there, and you can strain out the green, the juice from the fiber. But I drink the fiber as well. So like I said, you can either juice it or blend it with a Ninja. So what I'll do is I'll take, for example, and I'll change it every time I do it. I deal with what I got. If I got spinach, I'll deal with spinach. If I have kale, I'll deal with kale. You know, you could put broccoli, whatever, certain greens in it. So let's deal with the kale. I'll get fresh organic kale, and I leave the kale in the freezer because it's easy to work with. As a matter of fact, no, I'm not going to show you that. You know, you can get the whole bunch, a big bunch of kale, you know, with the stems and all that. I put it right in the freezer. There's also places where you can buy it in a bag where it's chopped up, but make sure it's organic. Everything you get, you want it to be organic. It's better than non-organic, non-GMO, non-organic. Anyway, oh, you see the wine in the background in the goblet, and you see a couple of bottles of liquor. I haven't touched wine or beer or liquor and I don't know how long. I mean, I can drink it, but I don't. Anyway, coming back to this here, I'll take the kale, you know, cook. The reason why it's green because of chlorophyll. You know, chlorophyll is great for your body. So what I'll do is I'll take a certain amount of kale. I could take 2 cups of kale to maybe 3 or 4 cups of whatchamacallit, you know, spring water. Now I want to show you something real quick. I just got I did some research on oxygen water, and this is great for athletes. It's water with added oxygen in it for recovery. You know, when you read the back here, it says faster muscle recovery, electrolytes for hydration, not just for taste. All natural, pH balanced. So they're saying that this is the best water that you can get. You know, the 95 that we normally get, which I keep that in the crib. See, oxygen boosted for proven faster recovery. You know, when you work out, you got to know how to recover too. When you eat, you recover. The food that you eat is called glycogen. I hope I said it right. And let me do this. I'm gonna get back to the green drink. Jake just go and work out, you know. You got to eat the proper foods, which is a combination of carbs, complex carbs, and simple carbs, and protein. That builds you up. Okay, so let me see. Bear with me for a minute. Glycogen.
According to Wikipedia, glycogen is a multi-branched polysaccharide of glucose that serves as a form of energy storage in animals, fungi, and bacteria.
We're animal, right? We're animal. Animal comes from the word animate. We move. We're animals. Basically, it's a combination of carbs. It could be rice. I do brown rice, or even quinoa. I just started eating quinoa. I have a combination of brown rice and quinoa. But you got to have a protein with that. Whether it's a plant-based protein or animal-based protein. You know, you got some people that's not into meats at all. And they replace it with, you know, plant-based proteins. But, you know, if you're into meat, you know, you get some chicken, you know, if you can, organic chicken, you know, cook it up right. Don't fry it, deep fry it with your carb, with your simple and complex carb. And a complex carb will be like certain vegetables and fruits are complex carbs. Simple carb would be like white bread. That's a simple carb, which is really not good for you. So, you know, do the research on that. But anyway, getting back to this here. Like I said, I cheated on this one. I used this green juice, and what I do is I make my own, you know, green juice. Like I said, from kale, spinach, mainly kale. I mostly deal with kale and some spinach. With the 95, you know, spring water. Matter of fact, let me do this. Which is essential water. You got your essential water right there. Which this is supposed to be better than this. This is supposed to be 9.5 pH. Purified water. On if you ever using the nanny.
If you sucked all of the moisture out of your brain and broke it down to its constituent nutritional content, what would it look like? Most of the weight of your dehydrated brain would come from fats, also known as lipids. In the remaining brain matter, you would find proteins and amino acids, traces of micronutrients, and glucose. The brain is, of course, more than just the sum of its nutritional parts, but each component does have a distinct impact on functioning, development, mood, and energy. So that post-lunch apathy or late-night alertness you might be feeling, well, that could simply be the effects of food on your brain. Of the fats in your brain, the superstars are omegas 3 and 6. These essential fatty acids, which have been linked to preventing degenerative brain conditions, must come from our diets. So eating omega-rich foods like nuts, seeds, and fatty fish is crucial to the creation and maintenance of cell membranes. And while omegas are good fats for your brain, long-term consumption of other fats, like trans and saturated fats, may compromise brain health. Meanwhile, proteins and amino acids, the building block nutrients of growth and development, manipulate how we feel and behave. Amino acids contain the precursors to neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that carry signals between neurons, affecting things like mood, sleep, attentiveness, and weight. They're one of the reasons we might feel calm after eating a large plate of pasta, or more alert after a protein-rich meal. The complex combinations of compounds in food can stimulate brain cells to release mood-altering norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin. But getting to your brain cells is tricky, and amino acids have to compete for limited access. A diet with a range of foods helps maintain a balanced combination of brain messengers and keeps your mood from getting skewed in one direction or the other. Like the other organs in our bodies, our brains also benefit from a steady supply of micronutrients. Antioxidants in fruits and vegetables strengthen the brain to fight off free radicals that destroy brain cells, enabling your brain to work well for a longer period of time. And without powerful micronutrients like the vitamins B6, B12, and folic acid, our brains would be susceptible to brain disease and mental decline. Trace amounts of the minerals iron, copper, zinc, and sodium are also fundamental to brain health and early cognitive development. In order for the brain to efficiently transform and synthesize these valuable nutrients, it needs fuel, and lots of it. While the human brain only makes up about 2% of our body weight, it uses up to 20% of our energy resources. Most of this energy comes from carbohydrates that our body digests into glucose or blood sugar. The frontal lobes are so sensitive to drops in glucose, in fact, that a change in mental function is one of the primary signals of nutrient deficiency. Assuming that we are getting glucose regularly, how does the specific type of carbohydrates we eat affect our brains? Carbs come in 3 forms: starch, sugar, and fiber. While on most nutrition labels, they are all lumped into one total carb count, the ratio of the sugar and fiber subgroups to the whole amount affect how the body and brain respond. A high glycemic food, like white bread, causes a rapid release of glucose into the blood, and then comes the dip. Blood sugar shoots down, and with it, our attention span and mood. On the other hand, oats, grains, and legumes have slower glucose release, enabling a steadier level of attentiveness. For sustained brain power, opting for a varied diet of nutrient-rich foods is critical. When it comes to what you bite, chew, and swallow, your choices have a direct and long-lasting effect on the most powerful organ in your body.
We live at the point where if you can distract us from that mind of God where we focus, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
You understand me? Like, if we can get focused, we can build and produce any idea that's within the mind.
This episode is brought to you by Goldwater.
It's not for us to debate you, it's for you to study.
Yeah.
You understand me? That there's science. If you believe in science, you believe in mathematics, you understand me? Then the science is gonna add up to say, well, this has this side effect and it does this. And when you start to look at your environment, if you eating food your entire life, right? If a person can put in front of them all the food that they ate in the warehouse and they was able to break down the composition of what was in it,
Man.
you're gonna see that it was a concoction of death.
Yeah.
You understand me? And destruction and things that have disruption of your hormones, you understand me? And your sexual drive and things of that nature. And so it's because I know I'm gonna have a diverse audience, but in the day, truth is truth.
Everything starts from that primitive gut tube. It's 3 things that's created simultaneously, I would say, at the same time. That's the nervous system, the primitive gut tube, and something called the lipid sac. The lipid sac is the actual lymphatic system where it can clean up all the byproducts that the baby is getting from eating all the food that mother eat. Then you also have that blood, but blood and lymph is called the interstitium fluid of the body. This is all talking about the same chemical composition. From there, you got the primitive gut tube where everything grow from.
Yeah.
You know, they call it the ectoderm, the mesoderm, and the endoderm. And when you start looking at, and this is how holistic health is, your skin is made from the same cells as your brain. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a skin problem, something is wrong with your brain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You start looking at your internal organs, they made for the same thing as your eyes. So like I just think we need to be re-educated and taught of what true love is, and that love for self is gonna make us research health.
Yeah.
It's gonna make us research food. It's gonna make us research
That's a
religion.
fact.
It's gonna all have to start with that self-love. But you know, again, we letting people create our environment and putting us in these tanks. I used to have a snake, you know? And I remember when I had this snake, I was like 10 years old, but something caught up to me. It stayed in my consciousness. My mama said, if you don't change the cage and make the cage bigger, the snake won't grow. It will only grow to fit in the cage. And I'm like, dang. So now, you know, I'm 33 thinking about it. If you put somebody in an environment and you limit that environment that you put them in, they only gonna be able to grow to function in that environment.
That's a fact.
Anything outside that environment, they're gonna be unaware of, or they're gonna lack the knowledge of. And that's why we ignorant, you know what I'm saying? Because we are not being privy to the environment. So, I mean, privy to the
To increase the repetition of people getting into the pattern and a better frequency of self. Like, I always say what you do frequently becomes your frequency.
Facts.
Right? Like, you can look at a person's reality and see the sum of their habits, their thoughts, their ideas, and their patterns.
Facts.
That's the frequency you want.
Facts.
And it's going to control you. But I want to have a conversation about this because you talked about something, and it's about more so the connection between food and sex, right? Now, I know that specifically in America, you know, when you go on a date, most of the dates are going to be to food, right? You go eat food, the blood go down. It's going to excite those erogenous areas. It's going to make you horny. You want to
Facts.
have sex.
Facts.
That's the food sex cycle. You have sex, you burn the calories, you understand me, and then you get hungry, and then it's a food sex cycle within that pattern of relationship.
Can I throw something in there real quick?
No, I want you to throw it all in there, man.
And look, we gotta keep this. We gotta keep this too. The food that they eating got sexual hormones in them, especially if you eating chicken. You know, because they want them to reproduce faster, so they sticking them with all type of sexual steroids. So that come on to you. Then most of the food is died through stress. You know what I'm saying? So you getting all them stress, you know, melanin neurotransmitters that come from the food. So, and you have to look at promotion wise when it comes to food psychology. You know, we see that a Snicker is made to replicate a black man's penis. Got the veins in it and everything. You bite into the Snicker, you got caramel dripping from the Snicker. It's even in our foods. Hot dogs. What is the concept of a hot dog? And why do a hot dog go between buns? What about pizza? How pizza is used for pedophiles. It's called Pizzagate. But you see, pizza represents the upside down triangle, which represents the womb of a woman. So food is sexual. But we have to start looking at sex. Sex ain't all about the sexual reproductive organs, you know. Just like a woman have lips on her mouth, she have lips down there. You know, just how you have certain things that's in the back of your throat, this is something called a clitoris. So we see that as above, so below. So you can have sex through food just like you have sex through your lower reproductive organs.
Yeah, that's why people, I mean, you know, a lot of people substitute sex for food sometimes.
Facts.
It's gonna give you that same endorphin raise. You understand me? You feel like you're in love.
Hey, look, so
in America, it's, well, they say 45% of America is obese, but it's really probably 70, 80%.
Facts. You know they be lying on them stats.
Yeah. But I was gonna ask you, because you talked about curing, because number one, there's a lot of black men out there with erectile dysfunction at young ages. And because you don't naturally, number one, who's to say it's natural in the first place? You understand me? You should be able to go your whole life and be able to procreate. You understand me? And reproduce. But of course, with all of the things that we eat, you understand me, and all of the mucus that build up and all the things that's in between, not only are we not creating enough little swimmers, you understand me? Like growing up in St. Louis, we was drinking Best sodas and all kind of crazy crap.
Red Hot Ripples.
Yeah, man, the emos, you feel me? It was good, but it was destroying my manhood.
Yeah,
you understand me? The whole time, decreasing my testosterone, not giving me none of the substance and nutrition that I need. And it was good, but it was all of the mucus that build up. You understand me? You should be able to go your whole life and be able to procreate. You understand me? And reproduce. But of course, with all of the things that we eat, you understand me, and all of the mucus that build up and all the things that's in between, not only are we not creating enough little swimmers, you understand me? Like growing up in St. Louis, we was drinking Best sodas and all kind of crazy crap.
Red Hot Ripples.
Yeah, man, the emos, you feel me? It was good, but it was destroying my manhood.
Yeah,
you understand me? The whole time, decreasing my testosterone, not giving me none of the substance and nutrition that I need. And so there's a lot of males that destroy today from a biological level.
Yeah, facts.
You understand me? Just on the way that they eat. Like you can't produce that energy. Number one, you don't have any control over it.
Yeah.
Then two, you can't properly, that's an emasculation right there.
Facts.
And then you can't even think clearly. So now you're not that type of person that can even come up with ideas and produce them in reality. So you ain't got no power in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's like, how did you get over, from when you was doing drugs and you started to clear up to where you can properly function as a man again?
First I had to realize a word that I call estrogen annihilation.
Yeah.
That's what's making us very effeminate. That's what's happening with the THC and the weed. That's what's happening and what they putting into all the food. And then if you look,
I call it soy boys.
Soy boys, right? I would start calling
soy
them
boys.
Yeah,
man.
soy boys are estrogen annihilation. And if you look at estrogen, synthetic estrogen, it is what we were just talking about earlier, which is a magnesium inhibitor and a manganese inhibitor. You can't produce zinc, and zinc is what works with testosterone to create your actual seminal fluid, or what we're gonna call semen. So, if you eating all these foods that's high in estrogen, high in all these different acidic acids that's being left behind as byproducts of synthetic chemicals that they putting in the food for additives and preservatives. These preservatives are literally not only behavior modifiers, but they're sexual modifiers too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's really messing with us, man, and cutting off our circulation, keeping us from getting erections and keeping us from reproducing the actual seminal fluid. So how I got rid of mine was I started studying a lot. And once I realized that, dang, estrogen is naturally supposed to be in my body, but I'm not using the natural estrogen in my body, I'm using the synthetic estrogen.
Right.
Dang, that's robbing me, because
Right.
estrogen is not, synthetic estrogen is an iron phosphate inhibitor too. Well, the black man's mineral is iron phosphate, period. We need that for oxygen. We need that to convert all types of other different steroids over. So I'm starting to see that the food was robbing me of all the minerals and all the melanin neurotransmitters that I need to keep a balance of homeostasis. So once I started shying away from the food, because that moment in the hospital for me, I started loving myself. I don't know what it was. I don't even know if it was the doctor or if it was my time. Yahweh was just like, look, get it now or don't get it. But it woke me up.
Perhaps it was just the idea that, you was living to get close to death. And then you got it and realized you wanted to be closer to life.
Right, I didn't want it. Facts.
You understand me? It was somebody was saying that, if I offered, if I said, yo, I'm gonna give you $10 million right now, everybody gonna be like, cool, I take $10 million. But if I say, all right, I'm gonna give you $10 million, but you understand me? It means you won't wake up tomorrow morning. So you got till tomorrow, but you get your $10 million.
Nah, I don't need no 10 million.
And so what that was to say is that means that waking up tomorrow is more valuable than $10 million.
Fact.
So we should be living like it.
Yeah.
Because anybody in this room would take $10 million just for another day.
Yeah.
So that lets you know how valuable life and breathing another moment is, but we don't have that reality.
Facts.
You understand me? Because we born in systems that tell us, all right, number one, everything is planned out for us.
Facts.
Right? You got your nursery, you got your middle school, you got high school, you get that degree or you get that diploma, then you go into college, then you go take out a debt loan. You understand? You take that debt loan, then you go through college, go through a university, then go work for somebody else. You work for somebody else, you set up your retirement account, IRA, all of that shit, and then you retire. You understand me? And then you just wait to die. Like, that don't sound like a life that no human being should ever sign up for.
Man, it sound like prison.
It is a prison because it's a structure that was given where you can't control your mind and your will.
Facts.
So I always talk about there's no degrees to slavery. If you a slave by any degree, you're still a slave.
Move it over into your raw fruit foods. Then from there, you move it over into raw juicing of your fruits and vegetables. Then it's just raw juicing of your fruits. Then you move to all just breathing, breatharianism, literally, y'all. So that is your highest form of intellectual exchange when it comes to getting energy and comes to exchanging or converting carbon over into energy from the actual air, y'all. I mean, people do it all the time, but you have to go through the kingdoms first. So now, since we understand what digestion is and realize that you have to start combining your food properly, if you go to my website, www.yakiawaken.com, click on the education tab, and once you click on the education tab, click on the food combination chart. I have a whole chart that I created many years ago to show you how to properly combine your food so you can digest the quickest and you can yield the most energy out of what you're digesting. Another thing, to the kingdom. All right, so I want to break it down. So the first one I was talking about is digestion. Digestion is how you get any type of energy inside of your body. Whether you are into breatharianism, whether you're into liquidarianism, whether you're into frugivorism, or whether you're into just, being vegan. In order for you to yield energy, you have to get something from the outside external environment. And this is called digestion. Now, the thing that's going on and that's wrong with us is we don't understand our digestive system. And that's the reason why we're messed up when it comes to digestion. A lot of us are cellularly constipated, and a lot of us are physically constipated on a micro and a macro level. And it's because your food combinations, you're mixing wrong food. So it's taking a longer process for your body to digest the food to yield energy. So anytime that we can cut these things short and make it more simplistic or simple, because we're prokaryotic cells, we're not eukaryotic cells, meaning our food and our fuel is based off of simplicity, then we can start fixing and healing our digestive system. So the first key to the kingdom is digestion. Make sure that you're eating and digesting the right foods. The right foods for you are going to be monosaccharide. A monosaccharide is a simple single sugar, and this simple single sugar is naturally occurring and naturally found in your fruits and in your vegetables. Fruits is fructose, vegetables yield glucose, and then you have the black woman's breast that yields a milk, and this milk is full of sugars and fat ratios, and this is called galactose. So these are your monosaccharide sugars, and these sugars yield 12 angstroms of energy. It's one of your most highly energetic sugars that you can ever intake in your body. And mind you, this is not processed sugar, this is not high fructose corn syrup, this is not bleach white sugar, this is not sugar that they done isolated out of the sugar cane, this is not sugar that they done isolated out of the fruits and then made candy out of. I'm not talking about that type of sugar. That type of sugar, processed sugar, white sugar, bleach white sugar, high fructose corn syrup sugar, that sugar causes diabetes. Fruit sugar does not cause diabetes. Fruit sugar is actually what heals diabetes. We need the sugar from fruit because it gets converted into carbon. Carbon then converts itself into carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, and then this turns into a water, and then that water is then used as fuel to actually fire off your cells for vitality and ATP, which stands for adenosine triphosphate. That's the whole point of the digestion process anyway. But a lot of people don't understand, once you fix the digestion process, you are still making byproducts from what you're eating. Anytime you eat anything, is going to leave back an ash, and that ash is supposed to be eliminated. That's why it's called consumption and elimination. Whatever the body consumes, the body accumulates, and it coagulates if you're not eliminating. So whatever you put inside of your body, you must have an elimination factor. If you do not eliminate what you accumulate, these things get these things get coagulated in the body, and they build up, and then it starts becoming acidic. So that's why there's 4 steps and 4 keys that's in place that'll stop this cellular constipation from killing the cells and becoming mutating cells, causing cancer, causing diabetes, causing acidosis, causing lupus, multiple sclerosis, leukemia, all kinds of cancers, sickle cell anemia. All this is about your body and not eliminating what is digesting or what is consuming. All right. So then what we're talking about is making sure the foods that we're digesting is actually created for our physiology. For instance, you're eating all these complex amino acid structures. It's hard for your body to break it down because the hydrochloric acid that sits inside of your stomach sac is not even hot enough to break down these polypeptides and to break down these proteins. Your body was made to break down simple sugars, where it can break the sugars apart and get all the healing constituents out of it, get all the bioflavonoids out of it, get all the light code frequencies out of it, get all the trace minerals out of it, and get all the amino acids out of it. A lot of people don't know, but like for instance, if you check something like the strawberry, a strawberry have more DNA than an animal. Let me say that again. A strawberry have more DNA in it than an animal. That's how much DNA and that's how much information is in fruit. So most of your amino acids is in fruits. Most of your so-called protein come from fruits and vegetables. Most of your minerals come from fruits and vegetables and dark leafy greens. So you don't need polypeptides, and you don't need peanuts. You don't need nuts, and you don't need meat to get that protein. This is what's messing up our digestive factor. And remember, the first key to the kingdom is digestion. All right, so now we starting to see that if we have a simple digestive system, then that means we need simple foods that yield high energy. The food that yield high energy will be your natural fruits and your vegetables that are very, very watery in substance. The first fruits, like watermelons, the melon family have more water than any other fruit family. The melons, whether we're talking about your watermelon, whether we're talking about cucumbers have 98% water in them, and cucumber is a melon, y'all. Your papaya is a melon. You see that? You got your cantaloupe, that's a melon. You got your honeydew, that's a melon. Then you got the watermelon, that's a melon. Then you have coconuts. Coconuts is not a melon, but this coconut is in fact a fruit that actually yields a bunch of electrolytes and water in it as well. So we need to start looking at fruits and vegetables that yield a lot of water in it, and we need to start eating that, because not only will that assimilate with the digestive system, not only will that assimilate with the body, but it will break down very, very fast, and we don't have to spend and yield all of our energy in ATP, adenosine triphosphate, ADP, adenosine diphosphate, AMP, adenosine monophosphate. We don't have to yield all that energy to be focusing on breaking down food and digesting all day, and we can be focusing on yielding the actual energy that we just ate. So the first thing you have to do is fix the digestion. The best way to fix the digestion is get off all meat, get off all protein, and go on a raw fruit and vegetable diet. And if you can't even go on a raw fruit and vegetable diet, then do cooked fruits and vegetables, but do not do anything else cooked. Do cooked fruits and vegetables. You see that stuff all the time, and you can eat things like that, right? And then work your way to the raw diet, because the raw diet, getting to breatharianism, is your yield all of our energy in ATP, adenosine triphosphate, ADP, adenosine diphosphate, AMP, adenosine monophosphate. We don't have to yield all that energy to be focusing on breaking down food and digesting all day, and we can be focusing on yielding the actual energy that we just ate. So the first thing you have to do is fix the digestion. The best way to fix the digestion is get off all meat, get off all protein, and go on a raw fruit and vegetable diet. And if you can't even go on a raw fruit and vegetable diet, then do cooked fruits and vegetables, but do not do anything else cooked. Do cooked fruits and vegetables. You see.
All right, shalom. Well, give all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. You guys just watch those, quick little videos. First start off with Tahar, and then I went to another health video about the brain, and then 2 videos by Yaki. But anyways, eat the meat, spit out the bones, but yet and still, get the edification. So we're gonna start with Proverbs 11, and this is the reason why I did this video, because we have to have a righteous balance, or a perfect balance, And this scripture is about to this is Proverbs 11. It says a false balance is abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. So yeah, calm. And the next verse goes into pride, but yet and still, you can use that verse, to say talk about your body, your physical temple. You have to have a righteous balance, because to balance yourself out. That's why I told even the brother K Camp earlier. I said, man, the Most High is beyond science. You know what I'm saying? He know exactly what he did when he made your body. He put the right nutrients, the right everything in your body when he made you. So if you off balance and everything, you gonna think off balance. You're gonna speak off balance and everything. And I'm just using it as an example, like the brother Yaki said in that one video about the estrogen. Because the brother, I think his name was 19 Keys. He was talking about how the food. He went into how like the food was showing the man's reproductive system, so to speak. And Yaki had mentioned about the different foods and everything. He broke down about Pizzagate, and all these foods that's that have like sex hormones in them basically. So yeah, man, this is so true. We have to have a righteous balance. Why you think that Jake be off the wall and they ready to kill something? They be on, these Jakes now, they be talking about I'm on demon time and everything. Why is that? Because of the food, man, and then on top of that, the drugs, the drugs, your liquor that you drink, you know, get you off balance. What am I saying? Your whole diet, it plays a big part, you know, on how you think and what you put in your body. It plays a big part of how you think, you know. All right, Con. Yeah, Con. So, like I said, that's why Jake, you know, he be basically going off, you know, because of what he put in his mouth, you know. It's all saying what you eat, you are what you eat. And that's a true saying, you know. Eating I was just watching the brother in GMS, Mississippi, the elder over there. He was talking about the pork, how Jake liked pork and everything. You know?
Jake love that damn pork, man. Matter of fact, we gonna end on that. If somebody can get that in, it's in Isaiah chapter 66 or 65. But it says, they eat of swine's flesh and the abominable things in their vessels. I'm paraphrasing. But Jake love that goddamn pork, man. And that's also proof that we're in the Edomite captivity. Because every time we in captivity on Esau Edom love fucking pork. But see, you niggas love, you love Esau. You love your father, the devil. So you see this damn Edomite eating pork, you niggas want to eat pork too. All because we don't eat pork, a nigga would suspect that you Muslim, man. You know? You think we worship a goddamn rock? That's what Allah is. For you Muslims that don't know that. You think we worship the goddamn what's that? The Kaaba stone? You know? You think we worship a goddamn, rock? You think we worship Allah because we say that we don't eat pork, man. But the Bible tell you you're not supposed to eat pork. But see, Jake don't read, man. But Bible can somebody get that? And I
know. And then do you wonder why, Jake running around here acting like pigs, ready to devour anything, whether it's eating, devouring as far as eating, or devour as far as trampling over your neighbor, So what am I saying, man? False, or what is the scripture saying? Better yet, a false balance is an abomination. You must be on balance, and the Most High doesn't dwell in an unclean temple. Matter of fact, let me get that. This is 1 Corinthians 3, and I'm going to start at 16. It says, "Know ye not that ye are the temple of Yahweh, and that the Spirit of Yahweh dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy, for the temple of God Yahweh is holy, which temple ye are." You can't defile your temple with all types of here's one. Not only physical food and fornication, so as far as idol worship is assuring you, but guess what? Your television, what you watch, which goes into idol worship too. But what you watch on TV, the music that you hear, you know what I'm saying? You getting fed many ways from the entertainment that you watching. A lot of you Jakes like that love and hip hop type of stuff, and also you guys are into all types of demonic rap, drill music, so to speak. You feeding your subconscious with that BS. And also what you're watching on TV, like I said, love and hip hop. All these movies on Netflix, majority of these shows, especially by black people, you got that LGBTQ agenda behind it. Even in the show Chicago, you can't even enjoy, even though the show Power is wicked as hell, but they have, or I heard they had some LGBTQ activities going on there. But I stopped watching that a long time ago because it's just about Jake selling drugs. They feed you this. They make this your Hollywood story. They gave Jake Bill Cosby back in the day. And not only Jake the world, because he was Bill Cosby was considered the father of America, or America's father. But anyway, just like they gave Jake Bill Cosby and Will Smith back in the day, all these square like Jake characters, for the most part. Now they're giving you characters like Ghost or Kanan. They about to have this or they're creating, 50 Cent, I believe he's behind it. He's creating this new BMF movie. What's that gonna do? That's gonna set Jake back. Jake has already set back. That's gonna set them back even more. We praise these figures, these ex gang members, ex drug dealers. We look at them as lords and everything, you know, as gods for the most part. And don't get it twisted. You know, I'm guilty of it too. Like my whole thing, I'm a musician, so I listen to all. I'm listening. Well, this is the Dog Pound instrumental. This is called Let's Play House. Okay. But anyways, because I enjoy music, but guess what? I know how to not let it influence me to do anything crazy. And with even that say, that's even an excuse. Cause I only have the instrumental. I don't have the lyrics up. But yeah, you guys get the picture, man. Some of the music I was listening to, like, you know, because I'm from the West Coast. So out here we got, man, everybody from, and I'm just naming all old school rappers. That's all. If I listen to hip hop, I want to listen to old school. So you got Too Short, E40, Mac Dre, Bad Influence, The Loonies, 3 Times Crazy, man. And this is just like Northern Cali, man. I'm not gonna get to Southern Cali, like all types of music, good music nonetheless, but it's well, good sounding as far as the instrumentation and the flow, but demonic as hell from the message. You know, only thing that music glorifies is living either a pimp's lifestyle, a gangster lifestyle, or both. You know, killing your own brother. This was what Jake is into. And like I said, I'm guilty of listening to this too, but I had to cut it out. I had to cut it out. Like Andre 3000 said, I had to cut it out like tears, but for years I used to burn them, getting deeper. He said, I had to cut it off like tears, but for years I used to burn them, getting deep up in my thoughts just to get shit off my sternum. Now, of course, he was talking about cutting out weed, but I'm talking about cutting out, you know, this impure music, you know, and entertainment all in general. Man, the stuff I used to watch, I don't watch it, and really, well, I have more of a balance of what I watched than what I listened to, basically, you know, because I really wasn't into like super ignorant ass movies and shit. It had to be a good storyline, or it had to really catch my attention. Now I ain't gonna lie, I like the classic Slovakia. I like the classic the classic, you know, hood movie, so to speak. Like, you know, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. I grew up on that type of stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, man, when I was younger, I didn't like Boys in the Hood, especially with the part where Ricky got shot. I hated that part, man. I didn't like to see Jake especially die on screen by especially one of his brothers. Like, that movie always gave me like a cringy feeling, you know, a black man killing another black man for no reason, you know, because of, you know, pride and ego and foolishness. So what am I saying? This is what Jake is caught up into. Even right now, I just switched the instrumental. And guess what? I like these type of, because there's nothing wrong with funk music. There's nothing wrong with like the instrumentals. You know, that doesn't make you people can say that, oh, this music make you rap like this. No, not necessarily. Yes, it taps into a certain energy, but you can use that on the right hand side. Like this beat right here, I can rap something positive over this beat. This is a Doggy Dog World by Snoop Dogg. I think this is produced either by DJ Pooh or Dr. Dre. I'm not for sure. I think it's DJ Pooh. It could be Dre. But anyways, yet still, man, you don't have to rap devil music or devil lyrics over this. I can rap about your how about you shy and still keep the flow. So what am I saying, man? We have to be careful. I went on a long tangent about music. I know I was gonna do this, but anyways, this off the spirit. We have to be careful what we feed ourselves. You know, what we entertain, or should I say, what we allow it to entertain us. You know, we have to be careful what we put in our bodies. This goes with the food too. You know, this all ties in together. Okay, what you eat, because when you're watching TV and you're listening to music, you're feeding yourself too. A lot of people don't know that. That's, you know, why you think the Most High, and I'm gonna give you a scripture out of the New Testament. Why you think Christ was like, I am the bread of life, you know, or he'll sup with you in Revelations. Why you think? Because talking is when you talk, when you have a conversation with people, you're eating too spiritually. That's why you can't have a conversation with every single person. It's not good to sit down with any and everybody at their table and talk to them. Okay, you got man that's wise, but even the scripture says the wisdom of this world is foolishness to the Most High. And that's why I said earlier, eat the meat, spit out the bones. Even with those Yaqui video, the brother, he has a lot of knowledge, and I watch him a lot as far as because I'm going to go vegan, and so I watch him get information. But a lot of stuff he say, he goes against the scriptures, But yet and still, eat the meat, spit out the bones. There's nothing, no disrespect. The brother watch his page or this video, which I'm sure he's not, but I'm just saying no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? I still, he's still my brother at the end of the day. And when I say go against the scriptures, I mean he still believes in the Bible, but he says we have to be strictly vegan. Eating meat is going off. That's not. He says that eating meat is basically going off, and that's not scriptural. So that's why I said that. No, it's no jab at him or nothing like that. But I just don't believe that. But to each his own. Like I said, eat the meat, spit out the bones. And I am going vegan all summer long. I might do it a little. I might stretch it out a little longer, but for sure for the summer, So what am I saying, man? We have to get this the spiritual food, and we have to eat the fruits of the spirit. Matter of fact, I'm closing with that. Let's go to Galatians. Let's go to Galatians 5. You already know where I'm going. One of my favorite scriptures. This is Galatians 5:16. It says, "Then I say, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. If ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lavishness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies, envyings, murders." You remember I was talking about earlier the murdering spirit that Jake had, the hatred spirit that Jake had, the lavishness, uncleanness, idolatry, and adultery spirit too. We ain't gonna even touch on that. That's gonna be another video. It says drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Let's go down to 22. Hold on. Verse 22, and this is the point. It says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are in Hamashiach have crucified the flesh with the affections and lust. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another." Slakia, let me read that again. It says, "Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another." And with that being said, hope you guys were edified. This is not a really short video. It's probably, I hope you guys were edified by the video, And I'm gonna start doing videos like this, putting together different clips and everything, and then talking at the end. Not every video I'm gonna do like that, but some of them I will do like that. But that's all I have for you. Before I close, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash, Shalom.
Shaka, somebody get that in Isaiah? Okay, it's 65. The ends up at McDonald's. For those of y'all that like McDonald's so goddamn much. Oh, Jake love McDonald's, bro. You love some damn McDonald's. You eat McDonald's, you eating people. Did you know that? That certain Edomite, I forget his fucking name. Damn, I forget his name. Finkelstein? Excuse me, I forget his name. But he brought that out. The point is, though, we don't know what we eating, man. So according to the prophecy, Ezekiel 4:13, and the Lord said this: "Even thus shall the sons of Israel, the sons and daughters of Israel, eat their bread, our food, eat their defiled bread, eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, among these Edomites and other nations, among Ishmael, Elam, hell. And you go into a damn corner store, you know, you go into the hood, man, which, you know, I'm in the hood. Hey, it ain't by choice, but I could do the work, you know what I'm saying? But basically, they got what you call food deserts out here. They got food deserts, and basically, every fucking corner store, you got these man. I put curses on a heathen real quick, cause they quick to sell Jake some goddamn hog head sauce, that pork, you know, some what they call that shit, red roast sausage, that pork. They quick to sell you just all type of defiled meat, bro. Unlawful meat on top of it. That's straight up unlawful. You're not supposed to eat that shit at all. But let's say, cause they got a Piggly Wiggly, which you know, I want to say the Elder Brothers of Hobby brought that out. That was basically like the first supermarket that they opened in America, was the Piggly Wiggly. But that's still in Jake neighborhoods, bro. Like, you got Piggly Wigglies all over America. But you know, in these different Piggly Wigglies, they got that certain shit. They call it what's that? That pig thigh meat. You know,